It is I, Tentis Naravan Dracovin, Lord and Emperor of the Dracovin Empire, and welcome. It is time to continue my discussion of the lands, legends, planes, and planeswalkers of Magic the Gathering, where I take each of these elements, give you a little bit of history and information about them, and help establish a little bit more of the world of Magic the Gathering in your mind. Today I'm going to talk about a legend, Mishra, brother to Urza, a powerful artificer. He was born in Argive, Tertiar, Dominaria. He was a cruel and ruthless artificer, known for the same origins as his brother, but he was known for conquering the western half of Tertiar, and then waging an endless war, nearly endless war, a bloody, prolonged conflict against his brother. Now, in the early years, he was born 0 AR on the last day of that year. His brother Urza was born on the first of that year. The two brothers grew up quite nicely for some time until their mother died. Their father remarried a woman who cared nothing for them and only treated them cruelly. When their father fell sick, though, he felt that his sons needed something, so he sent them to work with the artificer, the archaeologist, Tosika. So the two brothers headed to work with Tosika and become apprentices under this artificer, this one who was digging in the desert. The two brothers, though, were as different as night and day. Urza was reclusive. He didn't care for people, and he loved to be around the artifacts. While on the other hand, Mishra was truly a people person and got along with everyone. And his ability allowed him to gain control and basically leadership of a number of these camps. Though, Urza came to a discovery. They were studying the Thuran, an ancient civilization that had even been old by these standards. And this was long before the modern times of Dominaria we're talking about now. So even ancient by then standards. He discovered that the Thuran, all this technology comes from center source. The three of them, the two brothers and their master, traveled to this before unbeknownst city of the Thuran, Kolios. In the center of it, they found a powerful stone, a powerful device, which the power stones were basically coming from. The device kind of burst forth with power, and in the end, it was split into this power stone, and each of the brothers gained half of it. Urza gained one which could invigorate power into those, the Might Stone. Mishra's could drain the ability from one into another, the weakstone. Time went on, and Mishra became clouded, became haunted by nightmares given by the weakstone. He gave in to them, and he went after his brother, who was becoming more and more jealous of his discoveries, of his greatness. He wanted the Might Stone for himself, too. In the ensuing conflict, Tosika got in the way and was struck down. Mishra blamed himself and fled into the desert. Urza thought him dead, but Mishra was not dead. He was caught by Phyrexian tribesmen and basically enslaved, the weakstone taken from him, driven into the depths. Some time went over, and he assisted the son of the leader of the tribe. This child then begged his father to allow Mishra to be his teacher, to teach him in some ways that he was unfamiliar with, and Mishra reveled at getting back this lot in life, bringing himself up from slavery. But he wasn't fully out of danger. You see, the tribesmen here believe that a teacher is only useful for so long before it becomes a true hindrance to those that are looking for it. And they were the tribe's master, the chieftain, was thinking it was about time for his son. Urza continued to be plagued, though, by nightmares, by creatures of metal and flesh, Phyrexians. At this time, he awoken to a start as bursting forth from the desert was a massive dragon engine. The leader of the tribe was struck down in the fight with it, and Urza and the small child, the son, managed to grab the weak stone, and instead of weakening the thing, Mishra controlled it. He had power. Now the boy was the chieftain, and the boy made Mishra his Ravi, his court wizard. And with it, with the dragon engine, They united the tribes of the Fledgling and created an empire in the west. So this fledgling empire here came into conflict with a growing force in the east, led by Urza. When peace talks were attempted, the two brothers came both with respective sides to help them negotiate, and discovered each other. They discovered that they were both alive. Mishra had thought nothing of his brother, and Urza thought him dead. But the peace talks broke down, and war became more intense. The war between the two factions, with both brothers fueling them with artificial machines, fueled up and came more intense. Mishra needed more. So he went to Kolios. He sought out more dragon engines, and he found a portal leading to a place where he saw dozens of them. The portal was within. He went, of course, with his apprentice, which he had gained, Ashnod, a woman that was renowned for her cruelty and known for her lack of caring. So the two of them dived into Phyrexia and were attacked by Grix, a demon of Phyrexia. They managed to stave off Grix' exit from Phyrexia and close the portal, but not before Grix followed them. The war continued, and now Mishra took control of his side of the West. He became the ruler of it, effectively. New nations were either subjugated or agreed to join with fear of being subjugated. Thersis City was taken, and it's there that Ashnod discovered the Golgothian Silex. This is important to note. Now, as for Grix, he was being busy. He formed this brotherhood of worshippers, demon Phyrexian worshippers, that he instilled them within Mishra's court. You see, Grix sought both the power stones so he could open the portal permanently to Phyrexia. That was his goal, and he wished to kill both of the brothers, which dare touch the artifact. He got the ear of Mishra. He drove this wedge between him and Ashnod. This powerful wedge, which probably would lead to Mishra's downfall. But using Mishra's ear, Mishra had been growing old, weaker. His lungs were failing. He promised him new life. He took him to Phyrexia, where he was completed and became a Phyrexian. It is hard to say if any of actual Mishra remained in the shell, in the skin of him. If it was something of him left, or if it was a fake, is impossible to tell at this moment. But he returned. And he returned for the last battle of the war. Urza lured both armies to Argoth. There Ashnod granted the Golgothian Silex to Thanos, Urza's apprentice. They were attacked, of course, by forces of Grix, and Ashnod died, holding him off. Thanos managed to get the Golgothian Silex to Urza, and he told Thanos, leave this place. He went to confront his brother. He then discovered what had happened to his brother, that he had been changed into something else entirely, and in a fit of anger thrust out power, crushing and defeating him, destroying him. And the Golgothian Silex activated. Both armies were wiped out. Argoth was wiped out. A scar on the world occurred, which would lead to an ice age. And Urza awoke as a planeswalker. He vowed revenge on the people that he felt had actually killed his brother, changed him into a monster. He vowed revenge against them, and to prevent them from doing more harm to this plane, to his home. He vowed to fight Phyrexia, for his brother, for his home, for everything they had caused. Now, years later, as Urza, in the final battle against Phyrexia during the apocalypse, dived in there, traveled through it, he was haunted by what maybe have been a true thing of it, or a vision of Mishra, eternally tormented there. It's hard to say if this was actually Mishra, or just some kind of illusion that Phyrexia was playing on his mind. But he ignored it and dove deeper. The last time we see Mishra is actually during the time spiral events, of the big time portals that were rips in times. Mishra came forward to the future, and he was there during that time period. He didn't have any major events, as with all the time portals, most were sent back to their own times, their own planes, as they were healed. So things were fixed. But for a time, we saw echoes of the past, including Mishra himself. But that's it for today. I introduced you to Mishra, an interesting character, a foil to his brother for a portion of the story, but a tragic figure too. He was a people person, but jealous of his brother. He sought his power and kept making mistakes and was driven into a corner. And when he wanted to get out of that corner of slavery, he sought power to do it. And that power and the whispers of a corrupting stone, the weakstone, drove him probably mad. Drove him to become the tyrant that he was. So, would he have been that tyrant all along? Hard to say. But he became a cruel, masterous artificer. He conquered half a continent and waged war against his brother for countless years. And then he changed. He gave his soul to Phyrexia. Did he keep his soul after that? It's hard to say. Was he tormented for all eternity there? Until the destruction of it? Also hard to say. We don't know the true end of Mishra. We can see a young version of him during the time spiral events, but we know his legacy drove his brother to do the great and terrible things he did to fight against Phyrexia, which in the end did prove to be worth it, as they were defeated and destroyed. So Mishra has a legacy in that. That if not for his end, maybe Urza would never have stopped them. Maybe Dominaria would have been successfully invaded. Basically, he martyred himself in a way to his brother. Something that can be seen as good on his life. But regardless, if you have any questions, comments, anything you want to say, anything you think I left out, please leave in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe. It shows support for the channel, the empire, the work I do. If you want to show some extra support, you can always check out my Patreon. Link in the description below. But until the next time, I bid you farewell.